This is awesome. I guess Lester and Jeff are a combination of them two. L.E. or somebody brought this out here. Look at this. It's a walker with a chair in it. You know, they don't plan on me doing much, do they? Yeah, it's a walker. Well, it works out good, too. Got big tires on it. I might be going everywhere in this thing. And then if I want to say, okay, Ben, get working, I'll just sit down here. I'll just sit down here in this thing and say, all right, boys, get to work. PawPaw's rested. This is me. I like this thing. Got brakes on it in case I get going too fast. Yeah, well, whoever brought it, whoever sent it over here, whatever, thank you very much. You don't think I won't use it? I will. There'll be times you'll see me in this thing. Yeah, kind of scooting around out here somewhere. I love this thing.
Happy March 1st. It's my son's birthday, and I'm really excited about that. I will not be able to see him today after all. His mom is going to take him and do something fun for his special day. You got a horse in the pond?
It's a hot day.
It is a warm day. It's darn near 80 degrees today, which is wonderful. Jamie is out working in her garden, and I'm going to walk out and have a visit with these horses and then go see Ivy. I've always loved watching the horses in the pond. It doesn't get me as tickled as it does Jamie. Jamie will normally grab her camera and come a-running. We've both been known to get in the pond with the horses, but I will say this. It's a little bit too cold for me to do that today. Hey, sweetie, this is Prim here. We close the gate so as not to let anybody out. Now, I've been saying for a while that I have a feeling that Prim is going to be our next alpha, our leader of the pack. We lost Vu, and he was always quite the leader. He and Bucky sometimes played different roles. I'm walking over here, sweetie. What's funny is I don't even see Bucky's today. You coming too, love? I don't even see Bucky's today. Bucky's must be down by the road or either in the barn. And going into the barn at midday is not that uncommon. But I do see Dinky Darrell down by the road. I see the donkeys. He's in the barn. Isn't that bizarre? That's an old habit, though. And that old habit, I say, is because that's where Voodoo went. You stirring up the pretty water?
Like it wasn't blue enough.
It wasn't blue enough. She wanted to stir it up good. You can see there, we put water dye into our ponds to make them a really pretty color. And
I see you, pretty girl.
when they stir it up like that, it does get really pretty.
I think she's inviting you in.
I'm sure she is, but I tell you what, that water's a little bit too cold for me.
Yeah.
But you can go. I'll be happy to video you.
No, it's still too cold for me too.
One of my funniest memories of, come walk a little bit closer. I like to be able to hear you.
I'm really gross right now.
It's okay. Here she comes.
Oh, boy,
One of my
sweetie.
funniest memories was the day she almost drowned you in the pond. Jamie,
She wanted me on her so bad.
Jamie it may have been one of the first times you swim with her. I don't know that for a fact. But Jamie had gone down into the pond to swim with the horses. They were all in there cooling off.
It was Rita's fault. It wasn't my fault.
And Prim wanted to swim up to her and like climb,
Storm.
I'm sorry, Storm swim over to her and was like trying to like hug up on her in the deep water.
Yes.
It wasn't the shallow stuff. And Jamie,
It wasn't mean. It was not.
no, it wasn't mean. Jamie kept.
Look at her. Look at me.
She's hugging you. She wants to hug you. Jamie kept videoing, but I could see I know Jamie enough to know her face was showing some fear of just the unknown of
they
what.
were watching her and not me.
I was watching your face though. Yeah. It's like, what is she up to? So Jamie thinks that Storm is going to be the next alpha in the herd.
I am torn between Storm and Prim.
I have a feeling that Prim's going to take the role, and I say that because Prim has always kind of done her own thing. She's not really a follower, and
She's very independent.
Very independent. And I'm not saying that Storm's not as independent, but Storm is in a part of a group, huh?
Storm is connected to me.
She's connected, yeah. That's why you want her. Who do you think is the prettiest? Please don't say you can't say.
I can't say.
Just say who is
I'm not
prettiest.
gonna say.
Friends, Jamie won't say, but I'm going to ask you all. So you look, some of the highlights, and this is kind of funny, but look at this mane. Look at all of the colors in her mane. I love that.
Prim has it too, though. Hers is just on the other side. You can't see it right now.
But the colors of her mane make her just gorgeous. I know a lot of ladies pay to have colors and stuff. Look, and then you got the same colors in the tail. Of course, it's all wet now from her being in the pond. You can't judge. I'm going to walk back over and have a really close look at Prim. And before I leave this video, I'm going to ask you all, who is the prettier of our two mares? And y'all are not going to be mean and say, I can't make up my mind. I can't pick just one. No, you can, y'all. If you were the judge of a beauty contest and you had to pick one, just put yourself in that role. You're not being mean. No one's going to be upset with you. But if you were ever asked to judge a beauty contest or anything, take a good look over here and let's go have a quick peek over at Prim. All right, walking towards Prim, who we all know is a draft mix. Now, this over here is a Palomino paint. Storm, Palomino paint, but that really shouldn't make a difference in who you think is prettiest. Look at her markings, y'all. Look at her markings. Hey, sweetie, can I love on you when you have that protein lick? Her mouth is going to be nasty. Can I look at you? Sometimes protein licks make their mouth so nasty. But she's just gorgeous, too. And I have a kind of a special thing about her in the fact that I've been able to get on her back several times. I do. I don't like making videos of me riding Jamie's horses, guys. You know how I am about letting everybody have their own content. And horses, by and large, or in fact, Jamie's content. But we try to keep them warmed up as far as the saddle goes and all the things that we do. I do not do groundwork with any of these horses. None, hardly ever. But I will get out here and love on them. And we do saddle her up about once a week just to make sure she never forgets the saddle. And then what I want to do, I told Jamie, I want to bring that horse trailer back over here and start having all of our horses, I would say, and donkeys, start loading. Just practice loading so they don't never forget. You know, they never forget that procedure of loading. You all know that when we used to have to load Vu would really only get in the trailer after Bucky's went in first. So Bucky's has always been a really good loading horse. We don't know. We've never loaded this horse. So we've never loaded Prim to know how she loads or how she unloads, how she rides. And so I don't think it'd be a bad idea to bring that trailer over, park it somewhere probably around the pasture, and then just once in a while, you know, maybe not even once a week, but once in a while when we do take time to halter them up and put a lead, just walk them to the trailer, give them a snack, make sure they stay comfortable and they're not scared of the trailer, because you never know, on any given day, they end up doing something and need to have a vet visit. We do have vets that come to us, you guys know that, but that has to be scheduled. And that's not at the drop of a hat. So sometimes you can just take them in to have them looked at. But no, the whole point was for you all to tell me who you think is the prettiest of our mares. Because listen, they're both beautiful. I know they're both beautiful. But which of these do you think is the prettiest? And if you're going to say, Lester, I just can't name one. They're both beautiful. I love them both. Okay, fine. Let's change it a little bit. I'm going to ask you a different question. If you could have one, if there was some kind of a setup where we were going to ask you to please take one of these babies as your own. If you can't do it based on their looks, then do it based on their personalities. Who or which would you take as your own? If you had a couple of acres of property and you wanted to have yourself a horse, which of these would you prefer to have? Oh no, we're only doing our mares today.
These mares.
Only these two mares, not our donkey mares, not Rita.
Not Rita. Oh, listen.
You could just hush it out. We ain't talking about you. Sorry, y'all. That's my inner Nate and my cornholio and my inner goose coming out. All of those years in Plum Grove with all of that racket has worn me thin. And sometimes I can be just that. Oh boy, here you go. Here you go.
Oh boy.
We're not talking about you. You're not going anywhere. All right, let's go ahead and add one more to the mix. Let's go ahead and add one more to the mix. Hi, baby. Let's go ahead and say, we'll just go ahead and say, you know what? Now it's no longer about just our mares. We're going to go ahead and add Bucky's to the mix. Bucky's, we're making a video about the most wonderful horses in the world. And you three are really, really wonderful. But if there could only be one. Now, guys, I don't care what you use to evaluate your decision. You could act like you're in a beauty contest. You could act like you had to take one home with you for a day. If you wanted to rent one for a birthday party, I don't care. If there could only be one, and you need to justify why, okay? Based on personality, on looks, I don't care how you justify it, but please, for my video, let me know. Let's focus on old Buckers now. So everyone knows that Bucky is our one-eyed, because he's blind in one eye. He's a Palomino.
He's a Palomino quarter horse. But
He's a Palomino quarter horse, yes.
a lot of flies on
He's
today.
wonderful. It's about that time of year for some fly spray, maybe. Let me turn my camera around the other way. So Bucky's has had to make quite the adjustment with the fact that he's lost his best friend of all those years in Vu. And a lot of people assumed that Bucky's would automatically become the new leader of the herd. But it doesn't always work that way. You guys know that herd mentality changes all the time. It could happen whenever there's a loss, or whenever maybe another horse, the alpha, gets older or has an injury, or for some other reason.
Sometimes it actually happens when a new horse is introduced as well.
When a new horse is introduced, oh, look at our sweet baby with her bone infection.
She's a little bit more limpy
We'll
today.
talk about she thinks I'm one of them. Hold on, don't exclude me from all this. Oh, here comes our pony. But no, let's go ahead and just keep the three horses.
He just told her to come over here.
I know he did.
No, he said, don't worry, they don't have anything. He goes, don't rush.
Don't rush, there's no muffins or snacks. All right, so Bucky's is wonderful. As you guys all know, he was our very first horse rescue, and he was a birthday gift to Jamie. Yes, he was. Was that your second birthday? Or your
Second. First one was Annie.
Annie was her first birthday gift on her first birthday with me. And then Annie was her second. Annie was first, and then Bucky's was number 2. We don't ride Bucky's for a couple of reasons. Number one, you all know that he only has one eye. That's why he's a rescue. I know, and he did not do well with he was actually a rescue from a horse rescue. There's a beautiful story about that. But because he was only with one eye, the other horses would pick on him. And when he first came to live with us, he was quite the mess. And then secondly, we discovered that Bucky's does have a little bit of an issue down his back. If you watch, and I forgot how the vets have done it, but there's a way the farrier and the vets, did he do it? There's a certain spot, oh, right there's the flinchy spot. So there's a vertebrae or something somewhere here, and it makes him and it makes him flinch. It hurts. So more than likely, he was ridden pretty hard. You guys know from watching a few things that Uriel's done on him that he's quite the cowboy horse, meaning he was probably used in a whole lot of things to do with cow herding or cow roping or rodeoing, trail riding.
He's absolutely a cow horse.
Yeah, he is a cow horse. He actually enjoys helping us to herd the cows around. It's always been something he's enjoyed doing, and we've always loved his help. Yes, we have.
Talking to Ivy behind you.
Oh, he's talking to Ivy. Hey, sweet baby. She's like, where do I fall in the spectrum here on beautifulness? Well, baby, you're my number one for sure. But it's not about daddy today. We're asking our friends on the page who they think is their number one, if in fact there could only be one. We'll start with you. No, you have to. How can you not? But we ask our friends online to do it.
I'm their mother. I can't do
You're their mother. You can't do it. All right, so if there was a beauty contest, okay, if you had to rent one for a birthday party, you had to rent a pony. You had to rent.
Be Ivy.
Oh, hi, sweetie. Jamie says she'll just rent Ivy. If she had to rent a pony, then we only have one pony. She'd rent sweet Ivy. Well, I will say this. Ivy's wonderful in every way. Friends, don't be a hardhead like Jamie. Give me your answers. No one's going to say, I just can't do it. It's just too hard. I want them all. No, I want you to man up a little bit. Man up and let us know your thoughts. And like I said, you can base it on anything you want to base it on. Their looks, their personalities, their behaviors, or, their spunk, the things they've overcome in life. I don't care. You can base it on whatever you want to. But if there could only be one, which would be your one? Please don't everyone say, I can't pick just one. Guys, are you going to get us? Is she going to the pond now? Let's just watch and see what Prim does before I let this video go. I know it's running on. And, she may just be going around.
She might be going to get a drink. She may not go in.
But
if she does go in, you can bet your butt the storm will go follow her.
Uh-huh. But like I said, Prim is the kind that she's not a follower necessarily. And I love that about her. She makes her own way in life. She sets her own path and off she goes. And
Storm is motherly.
Storm is motherly. But Prim is like, y'all do what you want to do, but this is what I'm doing. And I just don't know how that's going to translate into because as of right now, we don't really know who is the leader of this small herd. But I'll say one thing, don't think for a minute that it's not possible that it could be her. Mm-hmm. Don't think for a minute that she may not end up being the leader of this horse herd. Because she makes herself known, y'all. She makes herself known. Well, I want to thank you all for watching a horse video, a rare Lester horse video that's not about Rita and Roman. Thank you for Jamie for allowing me a horse video. Even though y'all noticed
I thought you were going to get in the pond.
As I start walking out here she comes out of her greenhouse. She just comes running out of her greenhouse to make sure she can hear everything I say. I'm not going to talk mess about your horses, okay?
I thought you were going to get in the pond.
Oh, the pond's way too cold. But thank y'all for watching, and I want to read them comments, and I don't want to read over and over, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings, guys. I'm just curious, okay? I'm just curious of your who and your why. Thank y'all for watching, and we will catch you guys on the next video.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.